Gentlemen, start your engine!
Drivers, start your engines!
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Remember when I told all my drivers, reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time? Drivers, start your engines!
And gentlemen, start your engine!
And welcome back to the Green White Checkered podcast. I am Andrew, joined with Shane as always. Well, Shane, Nashville is done and in the books, and I gotta say, I was pleasantly surprised with the race. I feel like since Amazon's taken over, we've had two good races, and I'm not sure if Fox was just letting us down or if NASCAR's gotten better.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where, like we talked about last week, they're highlighting a lot more battles throughout the field, which makes it more interesting. You can have a big gap between first and second, but still have an entertaining race in other ways. And I think that Amazon has done a really good job at showing us that.
Yeah. I like I said, pleasantly surprised. I thought the racing was great. I thought Nashville put on a good show, which I said last week I was not a fan of the track. So, pleasantly surprised. I enjoyed the race. Ryan Blaney is now the last Penske car to make it into the playoffs with a win. They finally put it all together. They didn't have engine blowing up, tires problems, all the other things under the sun keeping them from getting to the victory lane. So I'm happy for Ryan Blaney. He's my only Penske driver I really like. So
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things when at the end of the day, you want the best drivers making it to the playoffs. And nobody can deny that Ryan Blaney's one of the best drivers that we have right now. So I don't hate him getting in. I'm not a Ryan Blaney fan. I don't dislike him, but I'm happy for him. I'm happy for the team. And he'll be competitive because he knows how to turn it on when it matters.
Oh, yeah. That is for sure. So, if this race would have went just a little bit different, you said, you're happy to see the best drivers get in there. Carson Hocevar could have walked away with a win here and be locked in the playoffs. How are you feeling about how Carson Hocevar has been running the last couple of weeks? Oh, did we lose you? Might have lost Shane. Well, as I was saying, Carson Hocevar finished second. Good finish for him. Yeah. Other than that, for the race, I don't know. I don't know what to talk about. He is having some internet difficulties from the sounds of it. And he dropped. So, he'll be back in a minute. Until then, I'm just going to say I am exhausted. Actually, I'll hop into the news real quick. 2311 and FRM lose their appeal that was, passed by judges before. So now they could lose their charters, which is not good news for Riley Herbst and Corey Heim, as they'll have to qualify their way in. Tyler Reddick. And, Tyler Reddick needs a win. I don't know how the rest of it goes. I think they have either 1 month or I think it was 15 days. It was one or the other that they can see a whole panel of judges, it sounds like, to state their case. I still don't see how you can sit there and say that. Yeah, there goes Shane. How you can say that this doesn't hurt them by losing their charters. They've paid millions and millions of dollars. I mean, they're probably $80+ million into this. So if they lose this, they're out $80 million, and they have to qualify races, which Riley Herbst cannot. So actually, that might actually help their case if he doesn't. They can show that they're being harmed by not having the charter. Yeah. We will see if Shane comes back. We'll give it a couple minutes. If not, we might have to take the week off. Oh, there he is.
Well,
Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm on my phone, so if it doesn't sound good,
There you go.
let me know. But yeah, back to Carson Hocevar. Is that where we left off?
Yep.
Yeah, man. It's gonna happen sooner than later. He's gonna get his first win if he doesn't piss the whole field off first.
Yeah. I know that a couple weeks ago he was definitely pissing some people off, and I don't know if you saw after the race, Chad Knaus and Carson were having a chat. Do you think Carson might be getting the bump to Hendrick, possibly?
That would be interesting. You got to assume it would be in Bowman's ride, correct?
Yeah. Sorry, I was taking a drink. Yeah, I mean, Elliott's the one that's running bad, but you're not getting rid of, the most popular driver. The other two have multiple wins. It's got to be Bowman.
Yeah, I would think so too. I think Hocevar would become one of the most popular drivers if he got to Hendrick, while also being one of the most controversial.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't have anything against Bowman. I think he's an okay driver. I think the injuries have kind of hurt him, and I don't think he's got the aggression he needs to really push the wins out like we see with Byron and Larson and them. But like Carson, we've seen him go out and perform in, not the best equipment. So maybe that's who gets bumped up. I mean, there's always been rumors where like Raj and them would end up there, but Carson kind of makes sense in my mind.
Yeah, and I mean, in a way that happens, could you see maybe Bowman winding up at Trackhouse in Suarez's ride?
I could see him there. I could see him actually at Spire. I think that was one of the rumors last year was he was going to go race the 7, I think it was. I don't know. He stays in the Cup Series, and I think he'll still compete and be there. But yeah, Carson to an Hendrick ride's interesting to me because he's got a personality. He's got the social media going and all this where the other drivers don't. So it would be interesting. Oh, we lost him again. I think this was his fault there. He was trying to change stuff.
This is not a good week, man. This is not a good week.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, no, Carson had a good ride. Who was the other ones? The Legacy guys. You had Eric Jones and John Hunter up there for a while. Eric Jones finishes 7th. I don't know what happened to John Hunter.
Yeah, really. There, Eric Jones looked like he might have had the third fastest car in the field.
Yeah.
And then he kind of fell off there at the end and got passed by a few guys. But yeah, for a while there, he was running, I think, as high as 3. He might have gotten up to 2 at one point.
Yeah, I can't remember who he got into, but after that, he kind of seemed to fall off. But he had speed. It was just like, I was wondering what was going on. You had John Hunter. He was top 5. Eric Jones ended up in the top 5. Carson was up there. I mean, Carson led laps, I think. It's just all these guys that they've been kind of trickling into the top 10, but here they are competing for a win possibly. Obviously, Blaney, Hamlin, those were the top guys. We even saw Logano up there, which thank God Logano did not win. Bubba looked fast. It was just some different guys this year than we've seen running up there, which is good to see. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you watched the post race or not, but they had Bubba Wallace up there, and he was talking about what a relief it is after the tough stretch that he's had here lately. So it was good to see some different guys finishing high. Obviously, you still had some of the regulars and Hamlin and Byron you finishing top five, but yeah, there was a whole lot of new guys in top 12.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Kyle Busch 12th, Chastain. We just saw come off a win, finished 11th. It's I'm optimistic for this week in Michigan. Michigan's one of the better tracks. I feel like multi-lane, you get to move around. Should put on a good show. So seeing these guys that are usually your 10th to 20th place being up there competing, we could see a real good show this weekend, and the weather's looking good. Yeah, I'm excited for Michigan. Anything else for Nashville that you?
No, not really. Other than what did you think about this whole Ricky Stenhouse Kosovar kind of rivalry? I guess that's brewing.
Yeah, I don't know what to think of it. Stenhouse doesn't take things lightly, so I could see a little bit of retaliation, but I think NASCAR at the same time is going to be watching it pretty closely. Yeah.
Yeah, did you see Hamlin on his podcast called him Recky by accident?
Oh, no way. That's
Yeah,
funny
so he
because,
was breaking it down and he just goes Recky and he's like and he just like covered his head and then they laughed at it and he's like I did not mean to say that.
I mean, that's funny because they are friends. Like, off the track, they golf and pickleball and all that stuff together. So, he calls him that to his face, too. So, I don't. Honestly, like, the people that like hate Hamlin and all this stuff, you look at the people that like that friend group, and it's just a weird group of people. Like, Kyle Larson is in there, and it's just like Kyle Larson fans hate Hamlin and vice versa. So, I would love to just hang out in that group and just be like a fly in the wall or something and listen to how they talk to each other. But yeah, Stenhouse. Well, I guess Hosvar is the same way though, where like if you bump him, he'll bump you. So could something happen? Sure, but I think NASCAR will put a stop to it real quick.
Yeah, yeah. Especially after I think Ricky Stenhouse went on a podcast and he was saying something along the lines of if he doesn't hear from him this weekend, he's going to confront him.
Yeah, I don't know about that. He might.
He talks so much for a shitty driver.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. Like, I think Stenhouse could have been much better than what he was, but he went to, the Roush team when they were having their big downfall. And then he's just kind of been put in shit rides. Like, that 47 car is not a good car. But, yeah, I don't know. He's not the best. Let's be honest.
He's great on super speedways, but outside of that, I don't think he's anything but average.
Yeah, I maybe like if he was in a good ride, top 10 every once in a while, and maybe compete for a win at 5 of the 30 races, right? But he's not in a good car, and he competes for whatever the super speedway wins are, and that's it. In a fight, though, I'm taking Carson. He's just tall, lanky.
Yeah, he does
Ricky's
have the reach.
Short and stubby. So, yeah.
Yeah. I do feel like Ricky's been in a couple more altercations like that, though, than Carson. He might have the experience advantage on him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's a little scrapper, that's for sure. I don't know. I think Carson would just wail on him, honestly. He just seems like one of those guys that's surprisingly good at fighting.
Yeah, and I feel like Carson is kind of like one of those guys who, when he gets pissed off, is like crazy.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I'd be down for it. Another.
Oh yeah, I kind of want to see it.
Yeah, what was that? Richmond, the Kyle Busch and no, that was
That was the All Star
North
race.
Wilkes. Yeah,
Yeah.
North Wilkesboro. Yeah, I'd be here for that. That'd be a good time, good news. But I don't know if it'll happen. Okay, let's move on here. I kind of talked about the 2311 FRM deal. Obviously, if NASCAR decides to remove their charters, this hurts Riley Herbst. This hurts Tyler Reddick because he doesn't have a win, and this hurts Corey Heim for the races he's going to run, right?
Bubba too, right?
Yeah. Bubba doesn't have a win. I don't know why in my head I'm thinking Hamlin. Hamlin's not even on 2311. He just owns it. Yeah. So basically that whole team. I know Reddick, as far as points go, he's in okay, I believe, but Bubba's not. Herbst definitely isn't. I mean, Herbst trying to qualify in every week would not be good, I feel like. But, where is Herbst? I don't even see his... Well, he's above... No, he's not. He's 35th in points. Ouch. That is rough.
Yeah, that is rough.
Wait, Bubba's 10th? Damn. I thought he was a lot lower than that.
Well, yeah, he's had this terrible stretch, but he was running good before that.
Yeah. That's not bad. 2 top 5s, no wins. Interesting. Obviously, if you count in the wins, he'd be down, 2 lower because of Josh Berry and Cindric. But he'd still be in the playoffs. Interesting. Yeah, so, I mean, they're going to have to either win a race or they're going to have to race their way into the playoffs now. I mean, Tyler Reddick, I can definitely see it. Bubba, man. You got to continue this good streak and put it together, which he can do. Okay, Dodge they haven't officially announced it, but they're coming back to the Truck Series. It's looking like there's some rumors going around that Cletus McFarland or Garrett something, I can't think of his actual name, is possibly being talked to for a truck ride next year, and it was for Dodge. And then Dodge had a commercial, and there just happened to be a truck in the background for, a new style Craftsman truck. So, any interest in Dodge's return to one of the NASCAR series?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's happening. I think we're going to see him back in Cup Series before too long.
With the Challenger or something, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I like the old Xfinity cars when they had them. I thought they were the best looking Xfinity car at the time. But yeah, it was sad to see them exit after, they're about 20 years, I think. And maybe we'll get them back. I'm all for manufacturers.
If you would have asked me like 2 years ago to bet on the next manufacturer back in or new into the series, I would have probably said Honda.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Honda, I don't know. That ended up being like an IndyCar kerfuffle thing where they were trying to argue with IndyCar, get a better deal, and then once they got the deal, they're like, yeah, fuck off NASCAR. Which, it is what it is. I'd like to see Honda. I think they could perform well. I just don't want to see Honda come in and have some weird rules where they can run a turbo V6 or something, and I don't know. V8s. If you want to run NASCAR, V8. Maybe we can get rid of the push rod engine. That'd be fine with me. That's old tech. We don't use those anymore. But, yeah. Any other news you can think of off the top of your head?
No, not that I can think of. Obviously, I think everything's come out for the Dale documentary now.
Yep.
I think a couple episodes came out.
Yep, I haven't watched the last few, but I've watched a majority of them. Very well done, I thought.
Yeah, I haven't gotten around to watching it yet. I just know that they've been releasing them, and I think they're done, right?
I don't know if they are done or not. I'm not paying that close of attention to it. I just, if I'm bored, I'll watch it. Some really cool old footage that I've never seen that's kind of thrown in there, like behind the scenes stuff. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and I think it's worth a watch. So, did the NASCAR documentary, the playoff one, come out? I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah,
The
it's out on
Netflix,
Netflix.
is
Yeah.
it? I Yeah, I haven't heard one mention about it this year. I
I
know.
just cannot understand like what their thought process was in releasing it mid-season.
Yeah,
Like when last year, I think they did such a good job at like getting people to watch the 500. Then you watch the 500, and it's like the 500 is always badass. So then you tune into Atlanta, and you got that finish, and then it's like you got all this momentum and a bunch of new fans or fans that came back because they watched the documentary. And now this year, you put it out in the middle of the year, and it's like I haven't watched it. You said you haven't watched it, so it's kind of like one of those things where I think that people are getting their fix on NASCAR, so they don't need to go and watch something else, type of
yeah,
thing. Um,
yep,
it just it makes no sense to me, but the way NASCAR makes their decisions doesn't surprise me at all.
yeah, yeah. It's not a good call. Yeah, releasing it either like a couple weeks before the NASCAR season starts, or honestly, like middle of January when everybody's inside because it's cold, shitty out. Perfect timing. Everybody gets hyped up, ready for it. I mean, we've talked about how the Clash really just, there's no hype for Daytona anymore. That's your hype. That builds the hype. But yeah, it was like a May or April release, and I haven't heard a word. So
Yeah, yeah,
I hate to see it. Honestly, I thought the first season was really good. I would have liked to seen like maybe a season long or follow like two drivers through the whole season, something like that.
kind of
What's the
like the
NFL thing? Hard
quarterbacks, and
Knocks.
then they did
Yeah,
receivers.
quarterbacks. Yep, just like that. Or Hard Knocks, even like HBO's behind the scenes stuff. You just see that realism that you don't see, in the broadcast and all that, and more of a feel for the driver, the person, stuff like that.
They did the one. Who did it? I'm trying to think of who did it. It might have been Amazon that did it on RCR
Yeah,
several years ago, and it
yeah.
highlighted like well, it wasn't just on
It's
RCR. It was
Austin Dillon, wasn't it?
Austin Dillon was in it, but like Corey LaJoy was in it when he was with I don't know. They showed him like making the seats with his dad and all that type of stuff, and there's it followed like three drivers, and I thought it was like kind of cooler than the playoff thing.
Gotcha. I don't know if I saw that one, honestly. I know the Austin Dillon one, and it was just like, I have no interest in that at all. But I think that was actually like a TV show on something where
Yeah,
like they followed
I'm
him.
talking about the same thing, but Corey LaJoy's in that too. It
Really?
just starts
Okay.
off like the first 15 minutes are all Austin Dillon.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I missed that one. I don't know. The more NASCAR stuff you get, the better. Speaking of that, though, I did notice we're starting to get more NASCAR commercials, and I don't watch live TV that often, but and usually when it is, it's like a NASCAR race or something, and maybe it's just targeting me. But I'm seeing NASCAR commercials, which I think helps grow the sport. It brings people's attention back to the sport. So
Yeah, I mean it can't be a bad thing. I mean, at the very least, it allows people to see a driver they don't know yet, and then they'll see him somewhere else, and they're like, "Oh, that's the guy," and they
yeah,
connect with the brain, and slowly might tune into a race.
yep, yeah, get that just random fan from commercials and stuff like that. I mean, that's how people did it back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Like, oh, that's the guy from the commercial. He was funny. Haha. Or
Yeah,
Speed Channel.
that's a
Had,
guy who smokes my cigarettes.
yeah, yeah. Drinks my beer or vodka or whatever. Um, okay, let's hop into Michigan. I mentioned, multi-lane, should be good racing. What are you predicting here? What are you thinking as far as what we're going to see on track?
I like Toyotas this week.
Really, I like Fords.
Do you?
Yeah.
I like Christopher Bell's been kind of sitting there quiet here. I mean, he's getting top tens, but he's been quiet
Oh
these
yeah.
past month. I think it's about time he makes some noise in this race. He's probably my favorite at 850 at plus 850 to win outright.
Okay. Yeah, those are good odds for somebody that we've seen compete and win races this year. I'm on Fords, and I'm going a little bit longer shots with Chris Buescher. I'm really liking. I think Josh Berry could perform really well. This is kind of his style of track. Buescher's sitting at 2,200. Berry's at 3,500. I think what I'm going to do this week is I'm going to ladder both of them. Maybe, go win top 5, top 10 just to save myself a little money on the top 3. Because I don't think they're going to finish top 3 if they don't win. I think they're going to go all out or top 5. So there is a bit of a fall off there, but I still think you get good odds with, plus 275 for Buescher, and then Berry's at plus 400 for top 5. And another guy, we just talked about him, would be Carson Hocevar. Not a Ford, but he's got this little rally going, and he's running some good races, and maybe they come out here, Chevy gives him a good car, and he sneaks his way into victory lane.
And he's a Michigan man.
Yep. He's going to try. I did not go back and look at his finishes here. Because trucks run Michigan, right?
Yeah, I think so. Last year in the Cup Series, I think he finished 10th.
Yeah. So, I feel like he's definitely performing better than he did last year. So, yeah. I like Carson Hocevar at, I just lost it, 1,800. I think maybe wait for after qualifying, though. I'm expecting that to go up to maybe 2,500. That's where I'd like to get him at.
So I got a long shot. I'm curious what you think about Ty Gibbs here.
I was looking at it, I was like, man, those odds at plus 4,500, it's way too high. Like, he could do it easily, in my mind.
And he's finished third here.
Yeah. And he's kind of coming on as late also. Like, he's starting to put it together. He had that really bad run at the beginning, or at the end of last year, beginning of this year. But he's running pretty well right now. So, obviously got caught up in that wreck a couple weeks ago. But, yeah, no, I did look at him. I was like, oh, that's tempting, but I didn't add him to the list. Oh, never mind. He's not putting things together. He's running awful right now.
Yeah, he finished what? He finished low last week. I know that.
31st. So,
yeah.
Martinsville 13th, Darlington 9th, Bristol 3rd, and then Talladega 17th. And then it's 23rd, 28th, 24th, 31st. Those races, he had been running well. Like Kansas, he had been running well. Charlotte had been running well. I know Charlotte, I think he got caught up in one of the later wrecks. I don't know what happened at Texas. I don't recall that. Maybe just ran bad. But
yeah, he's sitting at 27th in points right now.
oof. Yeah, but I do like him. He has won in the Xfinity Series there. He's got another top 5 there. It's just the kind of track that I think would be good for him. Like you said, you're on Toyotas, which it's a big Kansas in my mind, and Toyotas run good at tracks like this, so I'm not against it at all. I think Ty Gibbs could run well. Another guy I think would be Bubba Wallace, which 2,800, not awful. Okay, so that's your long shot. Who do you got for like a top 3, top 5? Anything in there?
So a top 5 that I'm kind of thinking about right now is Eric Jones at plus 700. He's coming off of a good race last week. He's another Michigan man.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that team is kind of building a little bit of momentum there.
Okay. Yeah, they're definitely starting to click a little bit. You're going with Eric Jones. No John Hunter at 1,800.
I like Eric Jones a lot better.
Yeah, I think he's a better driver. What about John Hunter top 10 plus 500?
I don't hate that.
Yeah. I think that's a little safer. The top 5 is a big push. I don't know. What about AJ Allmendinger top 10?
What is it at?
350.
Don't hate that. Don't hate that at all.
Playing the odds, I like it. Eric Jones 220.
Oh, Allmendinger has not been good here, though. He's
No?
got a 26th and a 30th in the next gen car.
Ooh, okay.
John Hunter finished 29th last year, but Eric Jones has an average finish of 11.3.
Really? Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Top tens.
Yeah. How is AJ ran before the next gen car at Michigan? Not well. Okay. Yeah. So no AJ Allmendinger. Holy crap, he's bad. Like, you had to go all the way back to 2014. He had a 13th place. Oh man.
2011 races.
11th.
23 races here in his career with the highest finish of 11th.
Yeah, back in 2011. Ouch.
That's crazy.
That is awful. Holy crap. Okay. Yeah, so I'm out on that one. If he does it, good for him. I won't be putting money on that. What about Zane? Zane Smith. One race here, and it was a top 10. It's in at plus 350.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel too good about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I keep looking at Zane. It's like, oh, he ran okay last year, and it's just like he doesn't run well this year. I don't know what's going on with that team. They are not hitting. Okay. Any other top 10s you're looking at?
Not anything in particular. Man, there's a lot of guys I like here, but I don't like the odds. I think I do like Hosfar at minus 125, and I also like Busher at plus 100.
Yeah, I was looking at Busher and honestly, like Brad even.
Yeah, I was gonna ask how do you feel about Brad this week? He's been this is his best track probably.
Yeah, and we've seen him kind of show up lately. Just not been complete dog shit. Ryan Preece also, it's going to be one or the other. So you can get Brad at plus 110 or you can get Preece at plus 250. Preece has been running better. Granted, last couple of weeks I think he's had incidents and not, but I think last week he was flirting with the top 10 and then had issues. So I'd consider it. I mean, if we go into practice and qualifying and Brad's still running okay, like near the top 10, actually top 15, I might go for it if the odds don't move. But if it's practice and he's 25th and runs like 20 laps or something like that, I'm out. I don't know. It feels like Brad might have lost it, or they're just not putting anything into that equipment.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just. I hope he hasn't lost it, but it's seeming that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe he's just starting to step into that the owner role a little more.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
go. Yeah, let's go to race drops here. I know you've mentioned some of these lower Toyota guys. Do you think there's a shot they're top Toyota at all? Eric Jones plus 2,000.
I don't mind. I don't mind throwing a little bit on that.
Ty Gibbs 1,600. John Hunter plus 5. Herbst plus 12. Yeah, I don't know. Like the Eric Jones one's not bad. I wouldn't put much on it though. Bubba, I don't mind. How's Briscoe run here? I haven't even. He's just one of those guys I'm kind of like not paying attention to this year.
No, he's been a really just like a boring follow.
Yeah. He's had a couple good finishes, but I don't know. He's not having a great season. He had the pole for the 600, I believe, and
Pole this past week, back poles.
did he? Yeah. I knew he started up there. I couldn't remember if it was pole or not. Top forward, I was kind of looking at Josh Berry at plus 800. I'd like a little higher odds, though. And then I can't believe Carson Hocevar top Chevy at plus 700, though. That just makes no sense to me.
I mean, well, I don't know who you'd have above him though. That's below him.
Give me a second.
Only one I think you could even consider would be Bowman.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I guess I just expect higher odds. I mean, look at that
Yeah.
jump. It goes 700 and then 1,100 to Bowman and then 3,000 to Suarez. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the
I-
more
I-
I think about it, I think Carson Hocevar would be awesome in that 48.
Yeah. Yeah, I think top tier equipment with Carson, you'd see that car perform very well on a weekly basis. Okay, I'm going to hit winning manufacturer of a Ford at plus 275. I think it's great odds there. I think it's a Ford track. You just got that horsepower downforce advantage there. Or low drag, I should say. You got anything else? Fastest laps or anything like that?
Not right now, no.
Okay, how about our matchups? We got Ryan Blaney minus 125 versus Christopher Bell minus 105.
I like Bell here. I think you're the opposite.
Oh man, it's a toss up for me. Like I could see Blaney going back to back, but I could see Bell being up there also. So I'd be staying off it if I had to go anywhere. Man, I don't know. That's a hard one for me. It really is. Yeah, at the odds, I'll take Bell. Ty Gibbs plus 110 versus Carson Hocevar minus 150. Two guys we've talked about tonight.
I mean, I like Hocevar straight up, but I don't know if I like the minus 150.
Yeah. You're paying a lot for that bet. I might just take the Gibbs for the plus money there. Chris Buescher minus 120 versus Bubba minus 110.
For me, this is the toughest one. Sticking with Toyota, give me Bubba.
Yeah, this one, I could see them both running top 5. And yeah, I can make an argument for both. Honestly, I'll go Bubba. I think he could run really well here. But like I said, I'm taking Buescher to win. I think there's a higher shot that Bubba is just up there top 5-ish though. And then Kyle Larson minus 125, Denny Hamlin minus 105.
I like Hamlin here. Sticking with my
Yeah.
theme.
Yeah, I'm going to go Hamlin here too. Just going to play the odds here. Hamlin's good average finish. Oh, God, my camera just like fucked up. I'm a ghost. There it goes. Holy shit. Yeah, Denny Hamlin runs better here. Just plain and simple. I go Hamlin, and he's got the better odds. So easy bet there for me. How about the groups? You got anybody there or anything?
I mean,
Group D's killing me. That's all I'm saying. Like, I like them all.
yeah, I wouldn't touch Group D. Group
What about Group
C
C? Yeah,
is interesting.
Carson, or actually even Kyle Busch.
I mean, honestly, I would go with Logano plus 200.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, the other ones I'm not really digging too much. I mean, Group B, you get the odds with Christopher Bell. Better odds than Logano, but you're up against
Yeah.
Byron.
Yeah, that's the thing. Byron has been the most consistent driver this year. He is just finishing top 6, top 7 every single week. He's really put on a pretty damn impressive year. He seemed to avoid, DNFs the whole year. He avoids the wrecks. He's just consistent.
Yep. Another driver we haven't mentioned and actually has been having some okay runs. What do you think about Michael McDowell? He seems to be showing up here, some pit stop strategy here and there. It's plus 10,000. Maybe not for a win, but what if you go top 10 and get him at plus 350?
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that at all. And, we're seeing success from Spire with Hocevar. So,
Yep.
I mean, they're putting it together. So, I don't think that's a bad bet.
Yeah, the top 10 for McDowell, I kind of like it. Plus 10,000 though. Throw a dollar on it.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, the top 10 Michael McDowell, like you said, Spires seems to be kind of coming on except for Haley. I don't know what's going on there. He just can't get rolling. Yeah. Anything else you were looking at for Michigan?
Not really. Not as of now.
Okay. I'm very disappointed. I wanted to go to this race so bad this year, and just family stuff going on this weekend. I can't make it. It's like, I swear when looking at the NASCAR schedule this year, they just went and looked at my plans for the year. It was like, oh, he's got something planned that weekend. Let's go to a track he wants to go to. It's been rough.
How far is it for you?
It's a bit of a drive. It is like a 7-hour drive. It's not that bad of a drive though when you make it. Maybe it's not 7. Maybe it's more like 5. Detroit's like 7. So yeah, that sounds about right for Brooklyn. I've been there multiple times. It was actually my first NASCAR race. I'll never forget that. That was 2000. I just remember getting there and walking up to the track, and you hear just cars screaming, walking up to the wall, going into turn 1. Like literally walk through the opening. Mark Martin just screams by, and it was just like, yep, this is it. This is awesome. Like, so excited. 12-year-old me. But, yeah, no, I love Michigan. What was it? Nashville. I mean, me and the old lady kind of talked about going to that just because it's not that awful of a drive. It's a drive. Gateway is possibly on our radar. We actually talked last week about going to Chicago. It's the last year of it. They're not going to go keep the road course going. So that's a possibility here in a couple weeks or a month now. I know you mentioned going to a race.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Atlanta here at the end of the month.
Nice. Yeah.
Catch a Braves game, then the race is a Saturday night race, so uh, it's not too bad of a trip. It's like 7 hours.
Okay. Yeah. Gonna try to do the baseball game and the race in the same day?
No, we'll do
Oh,
the Braves game Friday.
okay. It's like, man, that'd
Yeah, I
be a
mean,
rough day.
well, yeah, and it's the Braves play on the north side of town, and the track is on the south side of the city, so it's really not even Atlanta. It's like 45 minutes south of Atlanta,
Okay.
like in the middle of nowhere.
I last year went to Alabama for work, and I literally drove there the day of the race in Atlanta, and I was like an hour and a half away from the track, and I was just like, if I could have driven down the day before, I so would have went to the race. And it's like, one of our project managers came down and was like, "Oh, let's go to Atlanta for the football game this weekend," and they're in Philly, so that didn't work. But we ended up going to Nashville for the Titans game. But yeah, I was so mad. I was like, damn, if I would have actually paid attention, I could have went to this Atlanta race and had a good old time. But I didn't. Someday,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. It's I almost went to Texas. I'm kind of glad that I'm going to this one instead, just because it's a more fun track.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. I've been to Texas multiple times and not recommended.
Yeah,
It's
I went last year, which wasn't bad because there were so many damn wrecks. So
yeah. Yeah, now I mean with that turn 4 bump and all that, everybody seems to spin out, which is awesome because you're in the grandstands right there. But like back in the day, I don't know. That's the other thing is they really haven't improved Texas since I went there the first time back in 2006 or seven.
oh, you went to the first race there?
No, no, that was 97
Okay.
or
Okay.
96.
I know my dad
So
went to the first race there. But and he always talks about it was fun back then, but I don't know.
yeah, I mean it was an okay time. It just wasn't that great of a race the first time, and then I went again in like 2010. Um, it was an okay race. Like it's just the facility's not that nice, and
No, it's
it's a
still
race.
ugly around it.
Yeah, yeah. They could update it and make it probably really great. They need to do something with the turns, like get rid of that flat turn 2, just bank the whole track, and you probably have a good show. I mean, they're gonna end up making it like Atlanta though, so which might not be a bad thing.
Right.
I don't know. Okay, well, do you have anything else for this week's episode?
No, not that I can think of.
Okay, well, next week we're gonna have some Michigan talk, and then we get to talk about Mexico. So that's gonna be an interesting one.
Oh, have you seen the new commercial with Suarez talking to Bowman and Cindric and who else is in it?
I haven't.
Oh, it's pretty funny actually. So he's teaching them like traditional concession stand foods and then the Mexican version of them and everything, and it's just kind of funny. Like he's like comparing nachos to like whatever they got, and then they ask him about funnel cake, and he's like, "Have you ever had churros?" And it's just funny. It shows a lot of personality, which is what we need.
Oh yeah, 100%. What was I gonna say? Oh, they said they're gonna do a podium celebration in Mexico. So the top
Oh,
3
nice.
drivers are going to stand up on a podium instead of, just a victory lane celebration. So,
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Suarez by any means, but I think I'll be rooting for him to get on the podium there.
yeah, I'd like to see him run well, the home stadium, but I don't know. It's still Daniel Suarez. Like, we'll see.
Right.
Okay. Well, I think I'm going to wrap up this week's episode of the Green White Checkered podcast. So thanks again, Shane, for joining, and we will see everybody next week. Make sure to follow us on social medias at the GWC Pod. So until next week, see ya.